Hey Scrabble fans, Will here with another episode of Better Know a Letter. Today, we're going to get to know the V. There are two V's in the set of 100 tiles used in Scrabble. They're worth 4 points apiece, like many of the other tiles in the heavy category. The first thing to learn about the V is its complete inability to form two-letter words in any English Scrabble lexicon. No, not even déjà vu can help you. This makes the V an extremely effective defensive tile. You can use it to reach powerful scoring spots, while denying your opponent the ability to make a heavy response. You can also use it while protecting a lead by placing it out in space. The V's inability to form two-letter words can close off huge portions of the board with one move. This can greatly help you prevent comebacks by your opponent. While the V may be welcome with a lead, it's not a great tile to draw when you're trailing in a game. The same attributes that make it such an effective defensive tile make it a liability on offense. It's difficult to score with due to its extreme inflexibility in parallel plays, and you need to be careful not to restrict your own comeback attempts by placing it in the wrong spot. To make matters worse, the V is an extremely poor bingo tile, appearing in just under 6.5% of all 7 and 8 letter words. You're better off with almost any other tile if your aim is to get a bingo down quickly. The silver lining is that the V exhibits several strong affinities for other tiles that may help you use it more effectively. First, let's look at the vowel distribution in bingos containing a V. The first thing to note is that letters containing a V have a tendency to include more vowels than usual across the board, with the exception of the U. But easily the most striking difference is how frequently the E appears in bingos containing a V. It's not surprising to see the E in its usual top position among the vowels, but the E appears in an amazing 78.9% of V bingos, which is roughly 20% more often than the E's already elevated appearance rate. Moving on to consonants that appear alongside the V, there's a second extremely rare occurrence. The S actually gets beaten by another consonant. The S reliably tops the list of consonants alongside basically any other letter in the alphabet. But the R manages to claim the top spot in V bingos, appearing in 52% of them to the S's 47%. The L also deserves an honorable mention with a significant uptick alongside the V from its usual appearance rate. The upshot here is that when you draw the V, you should check to see if you also have tiles like the E, R, S, L, A, and I. Your chances of having a bingo in these cases are actually not that bad. On the other hand, the V combines very poorly with all of the other high point tiles, and even a few of the low point tiles not yet mentioned, like the T. Literally every other high scoring tile appears significantly less often than usual alongside the V. So, while the V meshes well with a small group of low point letters, drawing even one higher point letter could torpedo your odds of getting a bingo down. In short V words, the story is mostly the same. The A, E, and I appear frequently, with the E continuing to appear by far most frequently alongside the V of any vowel. However, the O loses its gains from bingo-length words, and the U reaches crisis levels of poor chemistry. VU is one of the worst two-tile combinations in the game of Scrabble. There's just a really low number of words containing both of those two letters, and what words there are rarely score well. When you have this two-tile combination, you should consider it a top priority to use one or both of them as soon as possible. Words containing the V and U together are especially valuable to learn to help you achieve this objective. Here are a few that should come in very handy to get you out of some jams. Once again, the L and R exhibit solid chemistry in shorter words, just as they did in bingos. But the higher point letters all work very poorly with the V in shorter words too. The V doesn't mesh well with any of the power tiles, especially the Q. There are no words of 5 or fewer letters that contain both a V and a Q. The lower number of words containing a V and a power tile make those few words that do especially important to learn. Here's a few of those words. Okay, let's recap what we've learned about the V. The V forms no two-letter words at all. While this makes it very difficult to use in overlapping plays, you can use this attribute to your advantage in many situations to restrict access to high-scoring spots or even wide areas of the board. But the V is well below average as a bingo tile, appearing in an anemic number of 7- and 8-letter words. The V is much easier to use with a good mix of vowels and a small set of specific consonants like the R, L, and S, but it works poorly with other high point consonants, and especially the U. I'm giving the V a rating of 1.5 stars. The V is a highly situational tile. There may be games where drawing it is a godsend, allowing you to block dangerous areas of the board in the nick of time to protect your lead. And drawing it with a mix of vowels and its favorite consonants can turn it into a dangerous weapon. But overall, it suffers from a very simple problem. It just doesn't appear in enough words. It's a weak bingo tile and an inflexible scoring tile that meshes poorly with most of the alphabet. When you draw the V, check to see if you also hold the tiles that it's friendliest with. Otherwise, look to use it as soon as you can and hope to draw something better.